There are always dark places in the soul where shame and fears hide, waiting for times when we are weak to spread like ghosts from the past that keep coming back to haunt us without wiping out our memories. There were too many for him to always beat me. But since I had it in my hand, I learned it by heart. I remember the meeting of a company working on a big project where I tried to present my thoughts. A simple criticism of your co-worker stopped me in my tracks. You keep talking, but no one is listening to what you say. Let someone else change, even if it's just a little thing a day. I think that we often don't realize how powerful seemingly small words can be, and the fear of losing our jobs has a huge effect on how we feel. The harsh truth about long-term insecurities is shown by the fear of ending friendships or meeting new people. But Courage in the Dark shows us how to block the way of a lost soul, not just mine, but ours as well. Our story shows how we deal with life's problems, pains, and losses. Today's movie will show you new things. A new world where all the bugs and problems are not only problems, but also a big step toward making the stronger before the game starts. I think you should watch the video all the way through and follow all the advice, because each lesson has the power to help you find the answer to the problem you're having. Lesson number 1. Understand that some things can't be changed. One important thing to do is to think about what you can and cannot control. Stoic philosophy says that understanding this properly is important for real and long-lasting confidence. It's not about giving up. It's about letting things go as they may. Accepting that life has problems and events that we can't change is the first thing that we need to do to get our confidence back. Stoic philosophy tells us how to be happy and strong when bad things happen outside our control. What counts is not what happens to you, but how you handle it. Epicurus, a Stoic philosopher, wrote that we must recognize and accept that we cannot control everything. Once you do this, you are free from worry and disappointment and can focus your energy and time on meaningful things that you can control. This will not only make you feel better, but it will also allow you to regain your confidence. But don't misunderstand me. Acceptance doesn't mean giving up. It means having a deep knowledge of and acceptance of reality so that you can act in a meaningful and effective way. By focusing on what you can control, your thoughts, feelings, and actions, you gain the power to get through tough times. If you apply this idea to your life, you'll see that your confidence doesn't rest on things outside of you. Real power comes from inside, from being able to understand and accept others. Stoic philosophy says that the best way to deal with problems is to accept them and take charge of them. Remember that losing confidence is a normal part of growing as a person. Acceptance not only helps you feel better about yourself again, but it's also a big step toward a happier, more useful life. There are times in life when things happen that test us, push us to our limits, and make us face the uncomfortable truth. Some things can't be changed. Even though our first reaction might be to fight these things, it's important to see them for what they are and accept them. By doing this, we make room for progress, strength, and peace of mind. When to accept or resist. Talk about the idea of acceptance and what it means for personal growth. Draw attention to the bad things that happen when you fight facts that you can't change. Give examples of people or groups that have done well by accepting what can't be changed. Figure out what can't be changed. Encourage us to look inside ourselves to see the parts of life we can't change. Tell the difference between situations we can change and ones we have to deal with. Look at everyday situations like how time passes, what other people do, and natural events. Acceptance as a source of strength. Stress how powerful it is to give up, trying to change things that can't be changed. Talk about how acceptance builds mental health and strength. Tell stories or tales from your own life about people who became stronger by accepting others. Pay attention to what you can change. Instead of focusing on what can't be changed, turn your attention to what can. Encourage people to solve problems on their own and be flexible. Show how accepting the things that can change in life can help you grow and become more independent. Getting better at being mindful and thankful. Help people stay present and accepting by teaching them mindfulness techniques. Focus on being thankful for what you have, even when things are hard. Talk about how being aware and thankful can make your life better. Creating a community that helps each other. Stress. How important it is to surround yourself with helpful people. Encourage people to talk to each other honestly and openly in their interactions. Talk about ways to get help and support each other when things are hard. Realizing that some things are beyond our control is a deep lesson in being humble, strong, and smart. When we accept this truth, we let go of the weight of pointless resistance and make room for a life full of growth, peace, and thanks. Let's start this road of acceptance together, giving each other the strength to handle the inevitable challenges of life with grace and strength. Lesson number 2. Make yourself stronger. It's not just a trait to be patient. Being tough is important, but the key to true power is understanding that power is not something we are born with. It is something we have to work at and develop over time. Being resiliently strong not only helps us get through life's storms, but it also helps us see each difficulty as a chance to grow and improve ourselves. Accepting that suffering is a part of life is a big part of becoming resilient. You shouldn't look for suffering, but when it comes, you should accept it and look at it calmly and patiently, like a blacksmith looks at a piece of red-hot iron. We use suffering to test and strengthen our mental strength. The best example of this is a marathon runner who gets hurt while training for a big race. In this situation, anyone would probably give up, but he doesn't. Instead, he decides to take a different approach. He uses this time to learn more about his body, the science of recovery, and even how to improve his running technique. Every day that goes by is not a loss, but a chance for him to get stronger and smarter. By the time he goes back to the race, he is not only an athlete who has recovered from injury, but also someone who has learned to use pain as inspiration and failure as a lesson. This story shows us that grit is more than just being able to handle things. It's also the process of turning pain into strength and failure into knowledge. This is what Stoicism is all about. Every challenge and problem gives us a chance to improve and become the best versions of ourselves. As Epictetus said, what counts is not what happens to you, but how you respond to it. Building up strong strength isn't easy, but it's the path to finding the meaning of life. This process helps us build our souls, making us strong, stable, and sure of themselves. Lesson number 3. Be consistent with your personal life. Living in a way that is in line with your most important ideas gives you belief and confidence. Not only should you know what you think, but you should also act on it every day. This is what Lesson 3 of the Stoic philosophy is all about. Know your own values and live by them. Confidence isn't just a result of success or praise from others. It comes from being consistent in how you act and what you believe in. Figuring out your values is the first and most important step. We all have our own set of values that make us who we are and shape how we act. Taking the time to think about and define these values will help you make good decisions in every part of your life. It could be honesty, for example. Courage. Once you know what your personal values are, like freedom or compassion, they will guide everything you do, giving you confidence and inner peace. But living by these values isn't always easy. You will face problems and even opposition from others or society, but these are times to test and strengthen your values. Marcus Aurelius, who was ruler of Rome and a Stoic philosopher, knew what each of us needs to hear. When nature gives us this advice, it stresses the confidence and peace you feel when you stay true to yourself and your ideals, regardless of what other people think or accept. Strong and long-lasting confidence comes from living an honest, purposeful, and satisfying life in line with your values. When you rely on this principle, you not only regain confidence, but you also build an inner strength that can't be shaken, even when life is hard or changes. You know what your most important personal values are. How do you live your daily life with these values? What problems have you had to deal with? How did you get past them? Your life experiences and stories will inspire other people in our community. Please leave a review, and let's work together to build an honest, self-confident life. Start by talking about the idea of Stoicism. Stoicism is an old theory that comes from Greece and stresses the importance of being good, having self-control, and being strong when life gets hard. Stoics think that we should live in harmony with nature and build up our inner strength to handle the unknowns of life. Important ideas. Virtue is the best thing possible. The Stoics say that the most important thing in life is to seek virtue or good character. Being consistent in what we do fits with this goal because it shows that we want to live a good life in every part of it. Acceptance of events outside of oneself. The idea that we should accept things we can't change is at the heart of Stoic thought. Consistency comes from being able to stay calm and act logically no matter what is going on around us. We can focus on what we can change, our thoughts and actions, by accepting what we can't change. Following the rules of nature, Stoicism tells people to live in unity with the universe's natural order. To be consistent in our daily lives, we need to act in a way that is in line with natural principles like fairness, compassion, and reason. We can live a steady and satisfying life by adopting moderation and balance. Daily practice and thought. Stoics believe that people should regularly think about themselves and their lives. To be consistent in our daily lives, we need to always be aware of ourselves and work to get better. Every day we can make decisions that are in line with our values and principles by thinking about our goals, values, and actions. Exercises for real life. Writing in a journal. Encourage people to keep a Stoic record where they can write about the good and bad things that happen to them every day. Ask them to think of times when they made sure their actions were consistent or when they saw chances to do better. Being aware. To meditate. Mindfulness techniques can help people become more aware of the present moment and stronger emotionally. Encourage them to do daily meditation to clear their minds and make it easier for them to be consistent in their thoughts and actions. Thoughts from the Stoics. Give people Stoic mantras or quotes to read every day to help them remember their promise to be good and consistent. Encourage them to take these statements to heart and use Stoic ideas in their daily lives. Finally, to wrap up the lesson, talk about how important it is to be consistent in our daily lives and how Stoicism can help us do that. In order to live a life of honesty, strength, and inner peace, encourage people to follow Stoic ideals and practices. Just to be clear, being consistent doesn't mean being perfect. It means making an effort every day to make sure their thoughts and actions are in line with their highest goals. Lesson number 4. Understand yourself. Some of my friends asked me how to figure out what they want in life. One of them was going through a life-changing event. Their marriage ended, and they were having a lot of problems at work. That person said they didn't know what they wanted or what to do next. At that point, I tried to put myself in their shoes, to ask what I would do, but I couldn't because I didn't have enough information to make a decision. I think only those who truly understand themselves can make that choice. With your unique personality, thoughts, and many other differences, you are one of only 7 billion people on Earth who know what they want and what they should do. To live the life you want, the first thing you should do is become more self-aware. This brings me to the secret of understanding yourself from the Stoic philosophy, which is an important step in rediscovering yourself and restoring your health. Once you know what your core values are, every choice you make and action you take will be more clear and important. Next, be honest about your strengths and weaknesses. Everyone has their own set of abilities and limits. This not only helps you make the most of what you have, but it also shows you what you need to work on. When you act in line with your core values, you can finally live fully with them. You will feel more solid and sure of yourself in life, no matter what problems or challenges you face. As Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher, emperor of Rome and Stoic, said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." When you understand yourself, you not only gain confidence, but you also find the way to the life you want. Start with a quote or story that makes you think about self-awareness. Talk about how important it is to know yourself in different areas of life, like relationships, work, and your own health. How do you understand yourself? Self-understanding means being able to notice and understand your own thoughts, feelings, actions, and why you do them. Talk about how knowing yourself is the first step to accepting yourself and growing. Why understanding yourself is important. Talk about how being self-aware improves emotional intelligence, understanding, and the ability to communicate. Find out how knowing yourself can help you make better choices and set more realistic goals. Stress how important it is to know yourself in order to have good relationships and handle disagreements. Methods for exploring yourself. Mindfulness and meditation. Teach mindfulness techniques to help people become more self-aware and present in the present moment. Journaling. Tell people to write down their ideas, feelings, and experiences in a journal. Self-reflection exercises. These give you ideas for thinking about your beliefs, strengths, weaknesses, and goals. Seeking feedback. Talk about how important it is to get feedback from other people in order to understand yourself better. Getting past barriers to self-understanding. Fear, self-doubt, and attitudes are common things that can get in the way. Stress how important it is to be open to self-discovery and willing to be vulnerable. Things to do. Mindfulness practice with a guide. Self-reflection ideas for writing in a journal. Talking with a partner or a group about personal events that help you understand yourself. In conclusion, briefly summarize the most important things you've learned about understanding yourself. Self-exploration and growth should be seen as a path that lasts a lifetime. Motivate people to use what they've learned in their daily lives to be happier and more fulfilled. Extra information. Self-awareness and personal growth books are suggested reading. There are online workshops and training on how to be mindful and think about yourself. People who want to learn more about themselves can join support groups or go to therapy. Lesson number 5. Accept that you can learn and your confidence grows. As the saying goes, knowledge is power. We need to learn more not only to get smarter, but also to make our lives better in deeper ways. The smartest people don't usually brag about how smart they are. Don't look down on others because they don't know as much as you do, and keep learning on your own. In a world that is always changing, we can't know everything, but understanding that change and wanting to keep learning about the world around us will guide us. Stoicism is a powerful way of thinking about life. It stresses living mindfully, which means fully and totally in each moment. One way to cut down on distractions is to practice awareness, which means being aware of and accepting the present moment without judgment. Improve your ability to evaluate things and make smart choices. For example, making a cup of tea can help you focus on each step, from idle thoughts about work or worries about the future. Feeling the temperature of the water, the color and scent of the tea during this meditation not only reduces stress, but also maintains your self-esteem when you are in the here and now, thoughts that carry with you and your environment into daily life. It doesn't require any special effort. It can be as simple as focusing on your breathing, feeling your feet as you walk, or even focusing on your breathing. Practicing this technique opens a space of inner peace where confidence and peace can grow tremendously. While Stoicism teaches us that by applying meditation in all actions of each day, we not only reveal our inner strength, but also regain our lost dignity. This is an important lesson and an important step towards confidence and peace of mind as you try to improve the right in the middle of this great video. I would really appreciate it if you left a comment. It helps us a lot in conveying the Stoic philosophy to many people. If you don't know what you're talking about, just write trust. It is the key to let me know you are watching here, and don't forget to like and share the video. Learn more and pay attention to the remaining 5 lessons in this activity. Lesson number 6. Focus on the important things. Pay attention to what's important and forget about the rest. This Stoic way of thinking tells us that what we choose to focus on makes a big difference in our lives, no matter how good things are. When your self-esteem seems to have disappeared, this principle of focusing on the important thing can help you get better and boost your confidence. Stoic philosophy says that focus isn't just picking where to put your attention. It's also about controlling your mental energy. This not only helps you take back your power, but it also gives you more confidence in everything you do and decide. One of the best ways to boost self-esteem is to fully focus on the present moment. When we do this, we not only see how valuable we are, but we also worry less about the future and regret less about the past. Mindfulness practice every day, even if it's only for a few minutes, lets us notice our feelings and thoughts without judging them. This gives us the power to control our feelings and thoughts, which gives us the inner strength to face obstacles with confidence. Let's look at the story of Tom, the leader of a small business who was under a lot of stress from both work and personal life. He had a hard time managing his work and was losing confidence and direction in his search for life's meaning. But after reading about the Stoics, Tom decided to focus on what really matters instead of being overwhelmed by all the things that needed to be done. He chose to focus on the most important task at work and spend quality time with his family. Tom used a certain focusing technique that involved taking a moment to think about the work that had been done and what the next steps should be. This practice of mindfulness helped him set priorities and gain confidence in his ability to handle work and life. By focusing on what's important and living fully in each moment, we can overcome lack of confidence and find immense strength within ourselves. This is a challenge we should accept, for in focus we find the key to unlocking. Lesson number 7. Grow your humility. Truly humble people know that there is always more to learn and better ways to get their confidence back, no matter how much they know or how skilled they are. Being humble is one of the most important things that Stoic philosophy teaches us. This is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of confidence and power. To be humble, you don't have to be down on yourself or think less of yourself. Instead, you have to be able to see yourself and the world as they really are. When we open our hearts and admit we're not perfect and still have a lot to learn, we become stronger and more confident. At first, you should admit that nobody is perfect and everyone has flaws. Take a moment to honestly think about your flaws and mistakes, being careful not to be too hard on yourself and also not being too positive to the point of fantasy. Another important part of being humble is being willing to admit and accept your mistakes instead of trying to hide or avoid them. Think of them as chances to learn and grow. Being humble not only helps us deal with loss with courage, but it also makes us stronger with each test. Finally, keep in mind that humility isn't just a personal trait, it's also the key to connecting with others and learning more about the world around us. When we realize that we're a small part of a bigger picture, we can develop a humble spirit and be open to learning from everyone. Being humble not only boosts our confidence, but it also leads to real growth and success in life. Let the power of humility guide you on the path to reaffirming yourself and achieving greater goals in life. Comment practice, developing humility. If you agree with our view, being humble is a good trait to work on. It's about being honest about your skills and weaknesses without being too proud or cocky. Here are some things I can do to become more humble. Active listening. I can learn to value different points of view and accept that I don't know all the answers when I take the time to truly listen to others without stopping or thinking I know best. Not letting mistakes or failures bother me. I can think about them and see them as chances to improve instead of ignoring them. Being willing to admit when I'm wrong is very important. Being aware of my limits. I can handle a lot of knowledge, but I can't know everything. Being honest about my flaws and willing to learn from others can help me stay grounded. Thanks. Being humble means recognizing what other people have done and showing thanks. I need to keep in mind that I'm part of a bigger group and that I depend on the work of many people. Service to others. Instead of trying to get attention or praise, I should think about how I can help other people. This can help me keep my ego in check. Self-reflection. I can stay aware of any tendencies toward pride or arrogance and correct my course as needed by regularly taking time to think about my thoughts, actions, and motives, asking for feedback. Regularly, asking others for feedback helps me see my weak spots and find ways to improve. To grow as a person, you need to be open to constructive feedback. Being humble is a process that never ends, and I appreciate you reminding me to keep working on it. Lesson number 8. Practice gratitude daily. It's true that we lose confidence when we forget how important the little things are in life. One of the most important things we can do to regain our confidence is to practice gratitude every day. This is not just a lifestyle choice. It's an important part of Stoic philosophy that reminds us of how valuable what we have every day. When the sun rises, we are given a new day to live, experience, and grow. Being grateful every day not only brings spiritual joy, but is also part of the process. Having a grateful attitude every day helps us see and appreciate these small but beautiful moments, which feeds the soul and builds a strong spirit. Stoic philosophy also says that we should practice gratitude every day. This helps us remember that both the outside world and our own minds are always changing. We can't change the things that happen to us, but we can change how we react to them. By showing gratitude and appreciation every day, we build a positive outlook and a fuller heart. This not only builds confidence, but also is the key to living a happy and peaceful life. Remember this as we work to rebuild our trust. Stoic thought says that being grateful every day is an important part of life, a great source of strength, and the only way to really live. Lesson number 9. Acceptance can help you find inner peace. Before we get to lesson 9, let's start with a story about an artist named Thomas. Every day he faces the challenges of being creative in the dim light of his studio, which is filled with hundreds of canvases. Each brushstroke and color represents a part of his soul. At first, Thomas felt burdened by the need to make something perfect, and every failure made him doubt himself. But as the light of Stoic philosophy shone on his soul, a miraculous change began. This acceptance freed Thomas from the weight of expectations, giving him freedom and confidence. To truly cultivate inner peace, one must first ask themselves, what is beyond my control? Once these things are known, the next step is not to try to change them, but to learn to accept them. This way, we learn to see failures and challenges not as problems to be solved, but as solid steps on the way to success. In this acceptance, confidence grows from within, not from the outside. Accepting things as they are lowers stress, increases mental freedom, and leads to a strong belief in oneself. This is what Stoicism is all about. Not just putting up with things we can't change, but also learning to value and grow from them. Stoic philosophy is not about getting to a place of confidence. It is a way of life that involves constant trying for betterment. Every acceptance step not only gets us closer to finding out more about ourselves, but it also makes us believe in our inner strength even more. This is the path to peace, confidence, and most of all, true freedom. First, recognize that people tend to fight against things that are difficult or not what they want. Tell them that this reaction is normal, but it usually makes things worse. Bring up the idea of acceptance as a way to get peace of mind. How to understand. Acceptance. Acceptance means recognizing the way things are without resisting or judging them. Stress that acceptance does not mean agreeing with something or giving up on it. It just means recognizing what is. How changes happen. Talk about how things will always change in life. Stress out how not wanting to change can cause stress, worry, and pain. Give examples to show how being open to change can help you adapt and grow. Admitting you're not perfect. Think about the idea that you can't be perfect, which can make you feel frustrated and let down. Encourage people to accept their flaws as a normal part of being human. Talk about how accepting flaws in others and yourself can help you be more self-compassionate and empathetic. Letting go of charge. Describe how the need to be in charge can lead to stress and worry. Help people give up trying to control what will happen and just be in the present moment. Talk about mindfulness routines and techniques that help you accept the present moment. Getting more grateful. Stress. How being thankful can help people accept others. Encourage people to be grateful as a way to shift their attention from what they don't have to what they do have that is important. Give people tasks in gratitude that can help them develop an attitude of acceptance and appreciation. In the end, go over the main points of the lesson and stress that acceptance is a choice that can lead to more peace and happiness. Encourage people to practice acceptance in their daily lives, starting with small problems that they can handle and working their way up to bigger ones. Remind them that accepting things as they are may not always be easy, but it is a skill that can be learned with time and practice. In the end, it will lead to a happier and more peaceful life. Lesson number 10. Be mindful in the things you do every day. Mindfulness is an idea that comes up a lot in Stoic thought. It's not only a way to fully live each moment, but it's also a way to connect your knowledge and emotions with the world around you. Mindfulness requires you to be fully present in everything you do, even the smallest ones, like washing dishes, walking, or even breathing. Being fully present in these things helps us value the present instead of worrying about the future or feeling bad about the past, which is similar to Stoicism. Knowing what we can control and what we can't control helps us build and keep our self-confidence. Mindfulness also helps us deal with our feelings in a calm and logical way. By watching without judging, we learn to recognize and accept our feelings without letting them control or haunt our actions. At last, practicing mindfulness every day not only helps us enjoy every moment, but it also builds a strong sense of self-worth. When you learn to see and accept yourself, you understand that your worth is not based on your successes or failures, or on what other people think of you. This trust, which is based on understanding and acceptance, stays the same no matter what happens outside. Mindfulness is an inward way to explore and build self-confidence. By fully living each moment and carefully approaching life, we can get past all obstacles and self-doubt to reach confidence. The journey through 10 lessons from Stoic philosophy on how to get stronger. You've definitely found the answer to the question, have you lost your confidence? With each lesson, we hope you've not only gained confidence in yourself again, but also peace of mind and the strength to face any task. Remember that the road to personal growth is a never-ending journey. Each Stoic lesson we look at is not just advice. It's a powerful tool to help you face the waves of life with confidence and clarity. We can't wait to hear about your journey and how these lessons have changed you. Share your thoughts and experiences in the section below, or leave a comment to encourage me. If you are ready to begin the journey of self-improvement and find value in this advice, don't hesitate to share it. Thank you for spending time with us today. Remember that we all have a strong Stoic inside us that is just waiting to be found and shown. Let's keep working on that strength together until the next time. Until then, keep the faith and move forward with confidence.